Hello, farmers, and welcome to the first episode of the harvest season of 2025. My name is
Wow,
Al.
I'm Kevin, and do you smell that new 2025 smell? That New Year's
It
smell?
smells very much like 2024. We are
Uh,
recording this episode quite early, 4 weeks early, three
yeah,
weeks early,
something like
3 weeks
that.
early, 3 weeks early.
Yeah.
So,
We broke kayfabe. Oh no.
yeah, but who knows what the world will be like in 3.5 weeks.
Oh,
Um,
and oh gosh, that's a time that could have been a haha joke. No, that's a serious threat these days. Oh no.
So obviously we will not have any news. The any news that we've missed over the last 2 weeks will be in the next episode. We'll probably do a news catch up episode. Um,
Yep.
but yeah,
So,
we're going to talk about our exciting what we're looking forward to for this year, our most
no.
anticipated games of 2025.
I mean, surely, chocolate hunt or haunted chocolatier, which undoubtedly will have the release date by this point because we're recording it early. But yes, no.
I mean,
2025 looking
considering he
good.
just admitted that he had, well, not admitted, considering he just said that he hasn't worked on it at all in the last year,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
basically, I don't
Yeah.
think that's the case.
Those screenshots were doctored. Yeah, no, probably not. But hey, things to look forward to 2025 because boy, do we need to find those, especially out here in the States.
So we're going to talk about that. But first of all, Kevin, what have you been up to?
Okay. So all right, since we're already broken kayfabe, I'll just go in all in. I mean, I've been playing a lot of the usuals. Marvel Snap is it's very busy right now. There's a lot going on Marvel Snap. I'm playing on it. It's new season. Um, I'm having
Of
fun with
course, when this
it.
comes out, it'll be nearly time for another new season.
Probably actually the new season will be out, but it's
No,
funny
because
though
this
because
no, because this is releasing on
uh
the 1st of January, so it'll be another
you're right. You're right.
another couple
Okay.
of
Well,
days.
almost. Yeah. Well, the end of almost the end of this season. Well, either way, I'm having fun at the start of the season. I can't say about future Kevin if he's having fun. Probably. Um, but honestly, that goes hand in hand with what I've really been up to because the Marvel Snap season for December is a crossover season with Marvel Rivals, which at the time of recording just dropped like yesterday or the day before yesterday. It's
Yeah.
been a little more than 24 hours. Um, and oh my goodness, okay. So for people who don't know, it's just Overwatch, but with Marvel. It is just Overwatch and good original Overwatch. So I played Overwatch when it first came out in 2016, almost 10 years ago, which is wild. 8 years at this point, I guess. And I loved Overwatch. I adored it. I played so much Overwatch. And then they basically ruined it. Um, it was two things. I mean, even before Overwatch 2, they the way they updated and patched things and balanced things or whatever, they started gearing it very much towards like high level competitive tournament stuff or whatever. So they reworked a lot of characters and just basically they ruined a lot of it for me. It was just nowhere near as fun when I dropped out. Which I can't remember. It was pre-COVID, I think, when I finally kind of dropped it. Um, but yeah, and then Overwatch 2 came out, which was great because they just it here's the secret, Al. It really was just more Overwatch. It was not Overwatch 2. It was just the same thing, except they made it even worse because I don't think all the characters were free. They they changed it from 6v6 to 5v5 and just all sorts of nonsense. It's so it embarrassingly so, I would say. Actually, just like the week before Rivals dropped, Overwatch 2 did a mode called Overwatch Origins or something like I don't remember. Basically, they had a mode where everything was set back to like the original Overwatch cast and abilities and balances and stuff like that, which is really funny. They were trying to, capture that magic again, but because Rivals was right around the corner. Um, But it doesn't matter because Rivals is here, and so can die now. Um, so yeah, Okay, first of all, Marvel Rivals very stylistic. It's made by NetEase, a Chinese company. They have that what I call Chinese anime aesthetic that Genshin Impact and stuff uses very edgy, pointy, and stylistic. I like it myself. Um, but they also have, I counted them, where I believe 29 characters at launch, which is insane. That's more characters than when Overwatch 1 shut down, um, just at launch, which is wild. So we have a good, healthy pick. I've been trying to play different characters, but there's so many of them. Uh, there's, I mean, I like Squirrel Girl a lot. She's like the first one I picked, and I think she still might be my favorite. Penny Parker with her robot is pretty fun. Captain America is really fun. His shield just reflects everything. I just stand there and let things hit the shield, and I'm contributing. Yeah. Hulk is fun. Some characters are really hard. Okay, so Spider-Man plays just like Spider-Man from the PS4 5 games. He has a swing, he punches, he just does the web shoot. His movement feels just like the PS5 version. But that also makes him insanely difficult because it's such a chaotic game. So you have to be very precise with Spider-Man.
Hmm.
And you're trying to hit other, actual human players and such. Um, it's yeah, it's great fun. So you've never played Overwatch, correct, Al?
I have not. I'm not a big first person game of any sort kind of
Mm-hmm.
person.
Okay.
Like I'm struggling to think of any first person game that I
Yeah.
actively enjoyed, whether it's a
Sure.
shooter or anything else. I'm not
Sure.
a huge fan of the perspective because I
Mm-hmm.
think the thing is that you'd think, oh, well, first person should be the most realistic thing, right? But the problem is that your screen is not as wide as your peripheral vision is. So I just
Yeah.
feel
Ooh,
like,
that's a good
and this
point.
happens in a lot of games with movable cameras, in that I
Uh-huh.
just feel almost claustrophobic. It's obviously not a phobia, but it's that
Yeah.
sort of idea of like I feel hemmed
I
in
get it.
and that I
Right.
can't
Yeah.
see what I want to see.
It feels busy. Yeah, I totally can get that. I'm generally not a first person shooter person either. I did pick it up for Overwatch and whatnot. But here's the secret, Al. Here's the surprise. Marvel Rivals is not first person.
Oh, it's not.
No, it's you hold the back third person camera.
Huh.
You see your full character when playing. So as you say, you do have a much wider like scope, like how much you can see at once.
Interesting.
I yeah. Um so
Oh
the
yeah.
camera is focused on you, like you're always centered on it and whatnot.
Is
Um
Overwatch like this as well?
no,
Is
it is not.
Overwatch first person?
Overwatch is first person.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm not
You're
just
not
making I'm not just making
no.
because people are just saying this is just and you did this exactly.
Yeah.
It's Overwatch but Marvel. So
Yes.
I'm not going
Yes.
crazy. I was
Yes.
thinking if it's Overwatch like Marvel, that would mean it was
Yes.
first person, but it's not.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
I know.
Great. I'm
Yes,
not going crazy.
because you're not crazy.
I
No.
was like, have I
Right.
just misremembered this game for like what, 10 years? Is that how long since the first one came
Yeah.
out?
No. Yes. No. You are correct. But yeah, like
Not
that's a
10
big
years,
thing,
eight
right? And
years.
yeah, 8 years, almost 10 years, but close
2016,
enough.
that year.
Yeah. Um, well, okay, and that's a big thing because I mean, first of all, like you said, the whole camera thing, like, yeah, I can understand, and so obviously that improves that. Especially like I couldn't imagine playing that as Spider-Man, like being first person while swinging around and
No,
and flying.
no,
Oh
I'd
my
feel
gosh,
sick.
that would be insane. That would be unplayable. But yeah, so it works well. They can do stuff like that, right? Um, and furthermore, I think because much like Overwatch, one of the uh foundations, let's say, of the game, the pillars is cosmetics, right? Like different skins and emotes and so on and so forth, right? So when Overwatch, you get a cool skin, well, you can't see it most of the time. You don't see it when you're actually playing the game, right? You see like the character's hand, maybe, but and the death camera, I guess. But here you can actually see your costumes the whole time when you're playing the game, which is, very nice. Um, and so and actually on that note, monetization, like they were very clear. and transparent about it. They dropped like a blog like actually 2 days before the game came out. We didn't actually know what it was going to look like till right then, but uh, two things they were very adamant and clear about. One, the game is free to play, which Overwatch original was not. I don't know about Overwatch 2, but Marvel Rivals is completely free to play and to download and play. And furthermore, every character is free to play. Again, like I said, Overwatch, I believe that is not the case anymore. In Overwatch 2, you have to buy characters or whatever. But here, nope, you can pick whatever character you like. They have a season pass, battle pass thing. They have bundles that they call them, where you can buy a skin and an emote and an animation, all sorts of different things all grouped up together, right? And that's how they're going to focus on the monetizations. All going to be cosmetics, which is fantastic. Um,
Hmm. And this
yeah,
so this game is free to play, and you can play
it is
all the
free to play.
characters,
Yep,
and it's in third person,
that's
and
correct.
it's characters I like.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Damn it.
yeah, it is. Yes, I did it.
And
Score.
it's on Steam, presumably,
It
so I
is
can play it on
on
Steam
it is
Deck.
on Steam, PS5, and Xbox, whatever the current
Is it
one. I've
crossplay?
lost track. Okay, actually, that's I think they did a very fair way of approaching that. It is crossplay if you're playing casual matches. If you're just doing quick play casual matches, it is crossplay, and I see that all the time. Um,
What about
if you're
cross
playing ranked,
save?
I think it is cross save. I haven't looked too hard into that, but
So if I want to start it on my Steam Deck and then go on to my PS5,
that
presumably I
probably
can
should be. I think so.
any settings I
I
have.
Yeah, I don't have that hard information in front of me, but I would wager that's the case.
Damn it.
But yeah, so if you play ranked, it's yeah, I know, right? They're answering all the questions correctly. If you if you play ranked, you just play with people on the same systems or whatever you're on, which seems fair. Yeah, that's fine. But you can totally play cross play with other folks on Slack or whatever. Yeah, all right, there you go. Al's on board. You people should try it too.
Oh my word, 47 gigabytes.
It's a beefy boy.
Oh,
Um,
I literally don't have enough space
Wait,
on my Steam
40?
Deck.
I think it's only like
47.
37.
I'm seeing
Really? Oh,
47.
okay.
Is this what it's saying on Steam? 47 gigabytes.
Oh.
I need to uninstall
Oh.
something or get a bigger SD card because I have
Good
43
times.
gigabytes free.
Good times. But yeah, I can't recommend it enough. It's fun. It's got lots of different styles of playing. Groot builds walls. He's fun. Iron Man is always flying. He just shoots from the air. He is always flying. Like literally, I don't think he can actually run. Um, Loki creates duplicates, so on and so forth. It's
Oh,
good
this
fun.
feels this feels like this feels like a game that I'm going to stick on my PS5 and use because I am one of those suckers that has a PS Portal. So feels like
Ah,
I'm going to stick it on my PS5, use my PS Portal rather than
there you
trying to
go.
fit it on my Steam Deck, which is full to the brim of different
Y-
games. Whereas
Yeah.
my PS5 currently
Ah.
I
Uh-huh.
have I have been playing Astrobot on it just the last few games. They've added some the like speed run levels, so I've been doing them, and I'm just about to once I've finished playing Zelda, which I will have done by the time this episode comes out. But I'm not going to talk about that because I'm talking about that in the second episode that I'm recording today.
That is
Just a little behind the
releasing
scenes.
that is releasing before this
Much
episode. So
before, 3 weeks before.
you've already talked about it actually.
I I will I'm gonna once I finish Zelda, I'm gonna start and hopefully finish before the end of the year. Sonic Shadows,
Oh,
Sonic
I gotta get
Shadow
into that too.
Generations.
Generations, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
because you
man, I
finished
gotta
it,
get
haven't
into.
you?
No, I finished Sonic Frontiers, the
Oh, I
open
thought
world
you'd
one.
said you finished it, January. Yeah, I
Oh,
thought
I
you
play
said something about that.
original Sonic Generations,
No,
the
no, no, no,
original
no.
Sonic.
I'm sure I saw you saying something about
Mm-mm.
Shadow.
No, no,
Did I
I've
just
not yet.
misread what you said?
Maybe because I finished Sonic Frontiers, but not I've not touched Shadow
Oh,
Generations yet.
interesting. Okay.
I actually do have it. It is ready to open, and as soon as I probably finish up the well, we'll see. I don't know because Marvel Rivals is eating my life right now. So at some point, I will get to it. Um, uh, Going back to dude, I just posted on the chat here a Penny Arcade con. We got to see it. It's about playing Marvel Rivals on the Steam Deck, just like you were talking about. Good times. Um, but yeah, that's Marvel Rivals. I'm glad I sold Al on it. Sick. Um, Big thumbs up. I'm sure it's even better by the time this actually comes out. What have you been up to, Al? Um, other than
Oh, well, what I'm going to talk about,
yes, other than the
obviously,
Zelda,
I've also
which
been
you've already
playing,
talked about.
yeah, I've also been playing Snap, but I think I'm kind of wrapping up on that for just now because I'm
Hmm.
just getting a bit tired. I've been playing it every single day a lot because, I mean, you've seen the leaderboard
I
on the,
you do
I
you
don't stop.
I play daily, but yeah, you curb stomp me on the leaderboard every week.
I would
You
love
do
to
play a good
see,
amount.
what do I play? I play it on my Mac. I don't think it has like amount of time you've played
Yeah.
on that. But like, yeah, the amount of time I put in is just stupid. Like I would be
Oh
playing
yeah.
it for like what, 2 to 3 hours every single day,
That's
2 to 3 hours minimum every single day for about 6 months. So I think I'm like
uh,
rolling back on that a little bit,
I
just
don't
because it's kind
burnt
of
yourself out.
I want to play some other things.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Until they
getting a
bring
little
you
bit
back
tired.
in.
They will, of course,
The
because
ebb and
this
flow.
well, because this happened last time as well. Like played it from launch, for a good 9 months or something like that, and then I got tired again, and stopped and for a while, and then got back into it 6 months ago. But I'm
Yeah.
sure it'll get me back in again, and I'm sure I'll be annoyed that I took the break because obviously I will be so far behind with the cards.
Hopefully
But
they'll have fixed it by then.
we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. Probably not. It'll probably take them a minute to fix it.
And I've been playing Pocket as well, just my regular daily Pocket. I'm managing to actually do that as an actual how people do daily games, right? Of putting like 15 minutes into it a day. Crazy, I know. I don't do that. I put my entire gaming time into a game normally when I'm playing it.
Yeah, I don't blame you, but well, hey, Pocket.
But the other
Uh,
thing I've been up to recent. Oh, sorry, you're going to say something about Pocket.
no, I was just saying, like, I still haven't gotten into it, and like, I don't know, something about it. It just feels almost. The more I hear about it while not playing it, the weirder it sounds to me, which like is very much a me thing. Like, I don't have all the pieces of the puzzle, but it just I don't get it. I still get it, but regardless, good for you. Enjoy your Wonder Picks, which I just learned what is today. What that is.
I enjoy it. I like collecting things, and this allows me to collect things without battling. So, the other thing I've been up to, because I will have talked about all the other games in different episodes, I'm going to talk about. I have been watching the TV show Legion. Have you seen this?
Okay, I have not, but I am familiar with it. First of all, who thought of that like that premise? Let's make a show about Legion, the
It's
Professor X's son.
Yeah, and
It's
it's
weird.
funny. It's funny because that's the entire link to Marvel stuff is Legion, and minor spoilers for Legion, but if you know anything about the character, this will not be a spoiler for you. Shadow King, right? That
Yeah,
is that's
yeah.
it.
I actually found out about Shadow King just yesterday. I don't remember how I ended up. It was a wiki hole, and somehow I ended up. It blew my. Well, I don't know too much about Legion to be honest, but Shadow King showing up threw me for a loop. I'll say that. I guess it makes sense because he's a telepath. That's probably
Yeah.
the entirety of it. I will say, Shadow King, they it actually looks decent. Like they did a good job with how it looks. And Aubrey Plaza is Shadow King. When I read that, I was like, what?
She's yeah, I don't want to say too
Well, she's
much because there's
possessed.
some
I know.
spoilers, but yeah,
Yeah,
she is acting Shadow King for some of it. Yeah. It is she's fantastic. I mean, she's fantastic in everything. I
I was
think
about to say
I
that. Yes, in
I have never
everything.
been disappointed by her, and she does, but it's like such a different character to other characters that she's done. Like I know she does weird characters, like that's her
Yeah,
thing.
I
She
was
does
about
weird
to.
characters.
She's not her weird because she has the that very blasé face, and a lot of the
Yeah, no,
characters
this is
they
very
run into that,
much
right?
she turns up the evil rather than the weird, right? Which is what you
That
want from
is,
Shadow King.
yeah, yeah. That's interesting. Like I can't remember the last time I saw Aubrey Plaza play, evil.
Properly evil
But
rather than just like accidentally evil.
yeah, oh yeah, oh, yes, okay, yes, that's correct. Or
um
let's say maybe malicious, maybe not outright evil, but
yeah, 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 sure,
but
for
yeah,
sure.
But yeah,
Um,
like a straight evil. That is fascinating. But hey,
straight evil.
but
Nobody said straight.
yeah, she's I mean,
I
hey, good. She's good. She's a great actress though. Like every role I've seen her, so I'm sure she kills it.
Yeah, no, she absolutely does. She kills. The role is fantastic. Um, uh, but other than Legion and Shadow King, every other character is like an original character for the show,
Okay.
which
What
is a little
about
bit weird.
not even Charles? Like, because that's
He's hinted at,
okay. I
but
was about to
he's
say, like,
never
I don't.
explicitly said.
Okay, because I don't expect him on screen, but that's kind of a fundamental part of Legion's character. So
So I think
you
they
think,
kind of hint at the fact at some point they hint about his dad being a telepath, and they have like a cartoon drawing of who is clearly Charles Xavier, obviously,
mm,
but
okay,
it's just like it's hinted at. He is never explicitly said.
okay.
So
So okay, two questions. One, do they ever? I'm assuming they don't have the really stupid Legion hair that you see in the comics, but do they ever make a
no,
joke about it?
I haven't noticed anything like that. He
Okay,
has, I
got
mean,
it.
his hair is kind of, yeah, I mean, it kind of sticks up in some
It's
way, but
vertical.
it's not. Yeah, it's not as tall. It's nowhere. It's like it looks like a normal, like a
Yeah.
possible realistic
Okay,
hairstyle
it's a
that is
plausible
in
hairstyle. Okay.
homage to it. I
Okay,
think
so they translated it. Okay,
they
I
do.
see. All right. Okay. Because yeah, his comics hair is ridiculous. It's like
Yeah,
taller than his head.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
okay, the other question, how is the multiple personality stuff done, right? Because the bar is now set at
Mhm.
Moon Knight,
Yeah.
right? How does it compare?
So the interesting thing. So I'm finished season two. I've got one season left to go. The up until the end of season two, they don't touch on the multiple personalities very much.
What?
Obviously, they no. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay.
Because up until that point, he's almost he's not quite sure of what his deal is, right? Like he starts off the
Ah.
series being diagnosed with schizophrenia in a mental
Uh-huh.
hospital, and then gets out of the hospital and is like, "Oh, I wasn't mentally ill. I was just a powerful mutant, and people didn't understand that." And by the end of season two, they're like, "No, no, you are not. You're. It's not that you're not mentally ill. It's that you're both." So like that's how they finish the second season.
Okay.
So up until the last episode of season two, it's
Yeah.
all like they've done a thing where he's like clearly got it, he's got voices talking to him.
Yeah.
But until the last episode of season two, they don't do explicitly his different personalities talking to each other.
Okay.
So they've not done that very much.
Okay.
With Moon Knight, his personalities don't talk to each other, right? Because it's disassociative. And
Well,
I know that Legion's
it,
meant to be dissociative, but they
yeah.
do
So
seem
it's
to be talking to each other, which is interesting.
yeah.
So it's very different from how Moon Knight works.
Okay. Hmm.
And this is probably one of these things where this is not at all what it's like in real life. And I understand that. I'm
Oh
not trying
yeah.
to say,
Oh yeah,
you
for
know,
sure. Like I have even less expectations of Legion in that end because
yeah.
Legion is so over the top with
It's
everything he's got going on. So
yeah,
yeah.
it's very much more towards schizophrenia rather than
Okay.
DID because it's
So
like it's framed as voices talking to him in his
uh-huh.
head and he talks
Okay.
back to them and then yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what they do in season three with it,
Okay.
because he's now kind of like realized this and like everybody else realizes it and he's kind of like moving towards a kind of almost villain arc, but it'll be interesting to see where they
Uh
take that because obviously he's a complicated character who, you know,
just a little.
yeah. So it'll be
Just a
interesting
little.
to see where they end up, but I've enjoyed it so
Okay.
far. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
been
great.
very weird. It's like there's a character that's clearly meant to kind of be kind of like Rogue, but not really, in that if she
Hmm.
touches someone, she swaps bodies with them.
Her name is Rose, not Rogue.
No, it's not. It's Sydney. But no, instead
Okay.
of like stealing someone's power, she literally
Yeah.
swaps bodies with them.
That's pretty cool.
It is interesting, and they've very much gone in a dark way with this, rather like, there's like we go into her childhood and there's some like really not great moments where she realizes
Oh,
she
I'm
can do this
sure.
and
Oh gosh, there's a lot of bad places you can go with that. Oh,
oh
that's
yeah, yeah,
not
yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not going to talk about
Oh,
them on the podcast, but I
sure,
might
but
if you're not going to watch it, I might tell you one of them after the podcast because it
I
particularly
can
got me
already take a guess, but do tell, like,
after the
that, y'all,
podcast.
you can, yeah, there is room to work with there, absolutely.
But yeah, so everyone else, including her, are like, as far as I can tell, unique characters. Because I was like, I don't recognize these characters, and I went onto Wikipedia, and they're not like Legion is linked as the Marvel Legion, and then obviously Shadow
Yeah,
King is linked as Shadow King, the Marvel Shadow
yeah,
King, and all the other ones, they're just so and so as this character name, and there's no like link to a Marvel equivalent for them.
uh-huh,
So I'm assuming they're all original characters.
sure, okay, okay.
They also have
Well,
Jermaine Clement. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about.
that name sounds familiar.
He
Let
was
me
a flight
see.
one of the flight of the Concords. No flight of the
Ah,
Concords.
okay, okay.
Yeah, he's excellent in it as well. So
Well,
yeah,
hey,
no, it's very good. I'm enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to season three, which I will have finished by the time you hear this episode because I'm going to watch it this week. I've only got 8 episodes left to go.
it is. It's such a fascinating thing, right? Because I mean, Legion he is a character of some note, but not like, he's not an A-lister name in the Marvel verse, let's say that, right?
Yeah,
But here they are, making a show entirely centered around him without any of the other Marvel connections. So when you hear that, like, it's such an interesting premise, but very cool that they managed to do good with it. I have heard good things about it. Maybe I'll check it out sometime. Maybe.
maybe. Yeah. So that's mostly what I've been up to that I haven't talked about on other episodes.
All right. Cool
Shall we talk
beans.
about what games we are most looking forward to in 2025?
Wildflowers 2, which might be announced by the time this comes out. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they've hinted at something coming, haven't they?
Yeah, I think it's coming
Yeah.
out. I don't remember any dates or anything, but that may actually be announced by the time this comes out.
Yeah, so
That may not be a joke.
I know that so I sent you a link, didn't I? Ah yes, here it was. So they're announcing something in the Wholesome Snack, which
Yep.
as we're recording, it's happening in 3 days.
Oh,
So
great. Wildflowers 2 is going to be announced in 3 days, and I'm not I can't confirm it because I don't actually know at the time of the recording.
like have they hinted towards there being a Wildflowers 2 and it's not just
No, okay.
another
That's me just being hyperbolic. I don't know, but it's Dry Dog Studios. It's from their account, isn't it? The Wildflowers account. So
yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? It could be. That would be my hope, of course. Maybe with a different art style, but you never know. Who knows what it'll be? I've got my eye on it though, for
You'll
sure
play
though.
whatever
So
they
we'll see.
make, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically.
Um, okay, cool. So we're gonna go through. We've each got a list, presumably. I can't see Kevin's list, but presumably we both have a list. I think what we've previously done is talk through one each. I just kind of go alternately, and we'll talk through our opinions on why we're looking forward to it, etc.,
Okay.
and just see where we go from there.
Sorry, one second. I am where I cannot find my list. I did write. You had a big list, didn't you? Where is it? Hold on. Let me see. I'm trying to remember. Here, you did you put one in Slack?
Of what's coming up this year.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll posted a big long list of what's coming out, but
Uh,
it should be on. If you look on the Notion, there's a big long list there.
where is it? I don't. Uh, oh, here it is. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yes. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I could not find it. But all right. Let's yeah. All right. You start it while I
All right.
peruse here.
So my first one, and I feel like this has been on my list so many times, but that's because I still haven't properly played it, and that is Snacko, because obviously it's Snacko is in early access. I haven't played it yet because it's been so busy. I think when it came out last year was a really bad time because it's December, and I'm not going to play a brand new farming game in December because I'm already like out of it. But at some point this year, Snacko will release 1.0, unless something goes seriously wrong. Like they've posted their updated roadmap and it has 4 updates on it. And it sounds like they're expecting that to be done kind of reasonably early next year. So I would be very surprised if Snacko 1.0 doesn't come out. So I think that's probably the thing I'm most looking forward to.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, all right. Yeah, no, that's fair. Like Snacko isn't on my radar, but like this is one of those I've talked, ad nauseum, like games that are in early access forever and then they get the 1.0 release. Like it's I don't know, something almost perplexing. Unless they have and some games do it, where like a massive addition or patch change, right? To list of features to 1.0. But we'll see if it drops. Hopefully it will drop. Um, I will say the art style still looks great. I will say that, right? Like the pixel cap, but everything else is 3D.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
They've done a lot of work as well. So I've seen some recent screenshots and some screenshots from like when they first announced it, and
Mhm.
they've improved the graphics a huge amount while still feeling like it's the same style, which is really impressive.
Yeah.
And it's just I think the thing about Snacko is I have been talking about this game since we started the podcast. I'm pretty sure.
That sounds about right.
So, to go that long, I can't even remember how long is it. Is this the end of year 6 or is this the end of year? I think it's the end of year 6. In January, it will be 6 years of the podcast. So, yeah, just the idea of I've been talking about this game for that long, and I'm super excited to finally properly play it. Obviously, I played a demo years ago now, but it's obviously changed a huge amount since then.
Yeah, that will be cool once it hits 1.0, I will say. Heck, maybe even I'll get on board at that point. I don't know. Um, but yeah, it's that's good. Can you imagine that the since you finally get into it? I mean, ever since talking about it for this many years, and finally we get 1.0 and you play the game proper. Um, but yeah. All right, I'll take the baton here. My first pick, again, kind of like I just talked about Snacko, but this is a similar boat where the game is already out, but I haven't gotten to it, and more importantly, it's going to be the console release of Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
That's on my
Um,
list as well.
well, there you go.
This I'm so excited for because I really liked the game in general, but
Yeah,
I hated playing it on my iPad. So I was like, I played it as much as I needed to for the episode and went, I will play this when it's on something else
yep.
because it is such a good game. It looks great. It feels great. Everything about it is great. I just did not want to do it on a touch screen.
It looks like it looks I know this, I say this knowing Hello Kitty is like one of the biggest franchises in the world, just monetary wise, right? But it looks so much better than what I'd expect it to be, right? Because I'm not saying
Yep.
Hello Kitty isn't like it doesn't do quality stuff, but it just does so much stuff, right? Like it's so everywhere that I don't know. I don't expect super high highs, let's say that, right? But this looks incredible. Just everything going on. Like the riding, you ride mine carts in this game. It's wild. Um, and finding the Gudetamas hidden around. Oh my, it just sounds incredible. And like just the massive list of Sanrio characters. Yeah, no, this like ever since the you guys talked about it on that one episode, I've been so hyped for it. You and Maddie talked about it, and so yeah, this is probably number one just because I mean, of course, like we know what it is more or less, right? It's come out. I know what to expect. So that's probably why out of all the names here, it is the one I'm most looking forward to, I would say.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
I
good
wonder,
stuff.
here's a question for you. Do you think this will
Yeah.
be a Switch 2 um, launch title?
Mm,
So as of just now, we just know 2025 for Hello
yeah,
Kitty Island Adventure. We don't know when in 2025. And also we're expecting the Switch 2 to be released in 2025. And
yeah,
it was announced. in that it was coming to Switch, or it was announced that it was coming to anything else
Yeah.
in a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
In 2024, this year, June 2024, for a fact that if the Switch 2 is coming out next year, there are developers that have a version to build against. It's an SDK, right? You know for a fact that there are games companies that have that because there's no way they would release the game without launch exclusives. And this feels like it could be a something, right? Like,
The
do you not
fact that it's already out, right? It's just a port as opposed to a ground up game does
exactly?
make
Yeah.
it a lot more likely. Um, I don't know how strongly I'd feel on that. I'll say it's greater than 50% chance it'll be a launch title. Um,
It's the
I
fact
don't
that
know.
we still don't. It's been 6 months and we still don't know when it's coming out next year.
Yeah, you know what?
You know,
That's fair.
and there
Um,
were many the general assumption is that the Switch 2 release announcement was delayed from September. So
yeah,
June to September could be
yeah,
a sort of expected timeline between announcement and date. Don't know.
yeah. I
Lots of
could see
thoughts.
that. Yeah. Gosh darn it. What are you? What if well, you say we don't have the date, right? So like I could see the simultaneous release. That'd be nice because I'd hate buying it on the Switch and then it's announced for Switch 2. Granted, it's all gonna be backwards compatible, so probably
Yeah, it
hopefully
will
won't
be
make a
backwards
difference.
compatible, but I will say, and this is the thing that people keep getting wrong, backwards compatible does not mean it will run better on the Switch 2 necessarily. That's not how these things work,
No, you're
right?
right. I'm not saying yeah, you know what? That's a good point. Yeah,
So
no, you're right.
if they make if because it's the same thing with like PS4 versions on a PS5 do not run better than on a PS4. Well, not better than a PS4 Pro. They do run better than a PS4, but they don't run better than a PS4 Pro because they're not designed to. They're not compiled for the PS5. They're
You're
compiled
right.
for the PS4 and PS4 Pro, and then they also work on the PS5. And so, like when we got I remember when I first got a PS5, Fall Guys was just the PS4 version. And then like a year
Yeah.
later, they released the PS5 version and it was a huge upgrade
Mm, really? Oh wow. I didn't try on the PS5. I'll have to try that. Huh. Um,
with your PS5 that's just sitting in the corner.
look, PS5 was my Zen the Zone Zero machine.
Would you have a
It was
PS5?
Street Fighter. Oh yeah, I do.
Oh, I didn't know that. Fair enough.
Yeah. I use it. It's not just even the PS5. Like in general, my PlayStation or non-Nintendo consoles are get used just from a handful of games, right? Like,
Yeah, same.
but they're games I want them, right? Like, it's my Street Fighter machine. It's my Zenless Zone Zero machine. Now well, actually, no, I'm not even playing Marvel. I'm playing Marvel Rivals on Steam. Calvin got because Calvin was a big Overwatch fan too, so we're both hyped about it. So I was like, okay, you know what? I have a computer that can run it. I'll run Marvel Rivals on Steam. You play on the PlayStation, and that's how we split it up. But anyways, but there's another yeah, it was Fall Guys, right? Like I haven't tried it. I probably won't try it actually 'cause I got too much other stuff.
I
Um,
still love Fall Guys. It's great. I don't play it as much as I
oh
used to, but
yeah,
it's good fun.
Fall
Good
Guys
fun.
is excellent. Like there is no denying that they knocked it out of the park. I wonder how far it's come. Oh, now I'm curious. Maybe I will.
They've been adding loads of great uh what's the word I'm looking for? Skins. And I
Yeah, sure.
really like how they've been doing the skins in that you can quite often get a lot of skins for free. So
You're right, right.
they have a okay, here's what I really love about what they've been doing the last year or so. They have a premium pass. Or no, what do you call a ladder or whatever it is you call it? I can't never remember the terminology these games use. The
Battle Pass,
Battle
Season Pass?
Pass,
I
yeah,
don't know.
sure. Season
Yeah,
Pass. There we go. Season Pass. So they got a Season Pass.
yeah.
But the Season Pass gives you back the currency that you use to buy the Season Pass. So
Okay.
if you reach level 40 in the Season Pass,
Yeah.
you have essentially refunded your Season Pass.
You have the next one free, which is always great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're playing it regularly, you can get so much stuff without actually having to pay except that first payment, which is
Yeah.
really good. And they have like a
Yeah.
whole bunch of bundles where it's like, here's a bunch of skins and the currency that you use to buy the battle pass.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that obviously it still is shoving these things in your face a lot, and there's a lot of stuff you can't get without paying. There's a lot of skins that are exclusive to pay money, pay 20 quid, and you'll get these
Yeah.
skins, but that's fine. It's skins. Who cares? You know, you know?
Yeah, 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 exactly, right. At the end of the day, even if you don't care, like the game's free and you can still play and it's
Exactly.
entertaining on its own right. Absolutely. Yeah, no. So there you
But
go.
my
Fall Guys, one of my most anticipated 2020.
but my other point about Hello Kitty is they are releasing on PS4 and PS5. They've explicitly said that. So it's not like they aren't known to release on two
Yeah.
generations of the same console at the same time.
Yeah, that's great. Oh, so there you go. Maybe we'll get the that Switch 2 version after all then, the ounces. Um,
Because we're getting close to the point where we're going to know when the Switch is coming out and we're going to get the first indications of what the launch titles are. Obviously, there
yeah.
will be some Nintendo stuff, but there's going to be some third party stuff as well. And I would not be surprised if this is one of them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I could see it. Um,
All right, my
okay.
second one.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I guess yeah. I mean, my third one was Hello Kitty Island Adventure as well.
All right.
So, how many more do
Okay.
you have for organizing this?
I wait, how many do you have? I'll just try to match you because
I have four in total, but that included Hello Kitty. But if you have four,
oh
that's
well,
fine.
I could probably go. I could probably do five. We'll see. I'll see four. I'm
Do
going down
do
the list,
another
just
one. Do another
illustrating.
one now, then, because
Okay.
I've got Hello Kitty as
All
well.
right.
So
Well, first of
what's your next
all,
one?
stop the press. Sorry, as I've been double checking all these things, I've been and double checking trailers. Um, there's Professor Layton got announced. This is neither here nor there. This might be for the greenhouse. There's a Professor Layton. Oh my gosh. Anyways, okay. Um, okay. Here's one. I'm going to say this not because I I might not play it, but I'm just so curious about it. Wander Stop,
Mm,
because that's the one by the Stanley Parable guy, right? And it's like such a wild departure from that.
hmm
I just wonder what it's gonna look like, right? And like we have a trailer and the game looks fine and whatnot. It just looks like a straight, straight shooting cozy type game. But so I don't know if it's gonna bring anything super new, but just the history of that developer really has me wondering what that's
hmm
gonna look like because I'm not expecting there to be some weird Stanley Parable-esque twist, but at the same time, I don't know, maybe. Like,
I don't expect it to be like a meta commentary on games the way that Stanley
yeah,
Parable was,
yeah,
but I will say that it's describing itself as a narrative centric cozy game about
uh-huh.
change and tea. I feel like it's going to do something interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
it might.
and I want like that's not going to be a really boring story. It's going to be hard hitting in some kind of way. Like I don't think they would make it just to make a cozy game. Like
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if it was maybe a meta commentary on coziness or something like that. You know, like I could see them like completely upending what you would expect from a cozy game.
yeah, yeah. I could see that absolutely. Yeah. So, like I said, I don't know if I will get to it. Maybe it drops out and it's amazing, but it certainly has grabbed my attention. I'll say that.
It will,
Um,
even if you don't play it, you'll find out a lot about it because I this is going to be talked about.
oh, absolutely,
You know,
right?
like the
Like,
same way that the Stanley Parable was talked about is going to be talked about.
oh, I'm sure, right? I mean, just having that pedigree alone, like it's gonna get talked about, absolutely.
I just noticed
Um,
the music's done by C418,
oh,
the guy who
what?
did Minecraft music.
Minecraft guy, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my, ooh, that's strong. That's good music. Oh, all right. Well, that was an honorable mention, but here, let me actually throw one I probably will play. Tales of Seikyu. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Say, yeah, I can.
I think so.
I,
Okay.
who knows? Yeah,
Uh, so there is, so it is it's what's the premise? It's
yokai,
farming, but it's
farming, but
yokai.
yokai. Yeah,
Farming, but yokai, right?
that's a perfect explanation of it, really.
That is what it is,
Do you
right?
need to say
So,
any more? That's it.
yeah, yeah. Okay, first of all, the art style is we're looking full 3D, and it's not. like super cutesy. It's a little more uh realistically proportioned, let's say that, right? Like we got full proportioned humans and S characters. You transform into yokai to do farming tasks. You turn into a slime thing to water your crops. You can fly around as a bird. And yeah, I don't know. There's a lot going on here.
Can I say that I feel like it looks like Sakuna? Is that
It, I was about to, if you look at the trailer, there's a blacksmith and there's an otter guy, and he looks just like, I forget his name, whatever, the guy
Yeah,
from
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sakana.
Have you
Yes,
you
I
got you
I
got a
can
type
totally
of
get it.
game by any chance?
Yeah, yeah, well, yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is because it's not a coincidence, right? They're both leaning into the very traditional Japanese
Hmm.
folklore-esque roots and whatnot, right? So that's what they're going for. Um, but honestly, it's the fact that you can transform into the yokai that's really selling me on it, right? Like you don't water a can, you transform into a little slime blob to water the crops.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what else they can do with that. That I think has really piqued my curiosity.
Yeah, it looks really smooth as well, like the
It
the
does.
transforming into the flying one
Mhm.
to move like looks really fun. I suspect
Yeah.
that's the sort of thing that you're gonna have to build up to. You're not gonna immediately be able to
Oh, for
transform into all
sure.
these
Oh
yokai,
yeah,
but
you got to collect them.
I feel like building up to that will be fine, and it will be I think I hope the movement feels fun like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, so that's and like I think it does look nice. Like it's not heavy stylistic like other ones, and maybe that's why it sticks out. It almost
Yeah.
reminds you of like an Atlas game, how it looks kind of. Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, there you go. Tales of Seikyu. We got it slated for next year, but uh
Yep.
that's
My
all.
my next one,
Right.
which I don't know if it's on your list, but you'll probably be looking forward to, is Super Zoo Story.
I was actually on my list, of course. I mean, after
I may have
let's
reordered
build
my
the
list
zoo.
so I could say this one so you couldn't steal it from me.
I don't blame you. I mean, like it's farming but zoo, right? Instead of yokai.
Yep.
Um, like it's not just so zoo. Let's build a zoo was just Zoo Tycoon type game, right? This is more Stardew-esque, where you're running around actually taking care of the animals and such. And there's villagers, and I think they said there's romance because you have to apparently, and you're farming. But it's still centered on zoo animals and stuff. So like I like animals, so that's a big one for me. What can I
That's
say?
my thing. Like I really wanted to like Let's Build a Zoo, but I don't I've mentioned it before. I'm just not a huge fan of management sims. And so
Sure.
this feels like the perfect balance of, running a zoo, but it's also, you're playing as a character. So presumably it'll feel much less overwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, right? Like I agree, right? Because the problem with management type games, once the scale gets big, it's really hard. Like there's so much you have to do and whatnot, right?
Exactly.
And here, if you have to run around and actually fill the trough and stuff, like hopefully they're going to dial that back down or give you automation or systems to make that manageable because there's
That's
a
the
lot going
key.
on in these trailers,
Yeah,
right?
that's
There's
the key
you
to
just
me. If there's good
yeah.
automation, it'll be a fantastic game. If there's not, I will be so frustrated. So that's my one
Yeah.
thing that I'm hesitant about is like, are they going to do the automation well or not?
Yeah, I mean, you'd hope so, right? Because there's a lot, like I said, there's full-on farming systems here, right? Like there's bug catching, it looks like, and all sorts of other stuff. Hey, there's a capybara. Um,
Of
but
course. There was a capybara in Tales of Seikyu as well. I don't know if you noticed that.
I'd missed that in pitch.
If in doubt, capybara.
There you go. There you go. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty easy way to win us over. Um, yeah, so there we go. That's
Yep,
that's a
I'm really
good.
looking forward to it. I
Yeah,
hope it's gonna be good.
yep, I agree fully. Um, all right. So So I'm just looking down the list, and like so many are TBA, right? That I'm interested in,
I know,
but
I know, I know. This is the thing.
but
I'm trying to limit it to ones that have at least hinted that they're going to be next year. Um,
yeah, yep, absolutely.
because there's still so many of those on that list, right? We still have like what 25, 30 games that say they're coming out next year.
I mean, look, I'll say Southfield is going to be my number one most look forward to game every year until it comes out.
Yeah.
That's the one for me.
I feel like did they just announce something? No, they've not announced their early access is coming out again yet. It's been 6 months and we've not got any more news on it.
Yeah, no. Here's oh gosh, that was so bad. Um, but yeah, no, that's good. Let's see here. I'm trying to out of
Oh,
the other ones I've seen.
I've got
Go
another
ahead
one
if you
that I
got
just
another one.
remembered
Yes.
about.
Yeah.
Starbirds. So this is it's a game that is being made in conjunction with Kurzgesagt. I don't know if you know them. They're a YouTube channel that
I don't think so. No.
focus on science education.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool.
They're really cool and they've got a very distinctive art style in their videos. And so this
Hmm.
game uses that art style. And it's
Okay.
an asteroid base building resource management game. So it's a little bit management game styley,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's less big and stressful and it's more like focusing on a small asteroid at a time, which I
Uh-huh.
feel like will pull that back and make me enjoy it more. But yeah, I really
Yeah.
like the look of it. I think it's I suspect it's going to be doing some science education-y sort of stuff inside of it, right? Like, I don't think Kurzgesagt will just go, let's make a game, right? No, they'll be like,
Yeah,
let's
I
make a
mean,
game that does what we care about, which is science education.
yeah, I mean, look, I'm already seeing like on the trailer, you can see you're just loading up a planet with circuits and solar panels and stuff. So absolutely, they're leaning into the sciencey aspect of it. Yeah, I love this art style. It is very, very cute. And the 3D look of it's great. Yeah, that's a good one. You know what? Yeah, I'm looking for early. So it's gonna hit early access in 2025, they're saying. So definitely keep my eye out for that one. All right. I think you still have one more, you said right now, I think.
I have one more to mention. It's not a big
Okay.
one, but yeah.
Really? Because I mean, is it not the one I'm thinking of? Because I thought that would be the finisher for us.
I don't know. Go
Uh,
for it. Tell me.
I mean, are we not going to talk about Tales of the Shire?
No,
No, no,
I'm not like, okay. I don't know. I feel like I've gotten less and less excited about this game over time.
no.
Let me talk about my last one and then we'll talk about Tales of the Shire.
Yes. Okay.
So my last one is Fields of Mystria. I've really been enjoying it and I want
Mm.
more of it. So I'm looking forward to its 1.0 release.
Yeah.
Hopefully will be
Sure.
next year. That's a good
Fair enough.
question. I don't know for certain. We'll see.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Come on.
Um.
Let's talk about Tales of the Shire then. Tell me why you're excited. Or should I
Well,
tell you
actually,
why I'm not excited first and then you can talk about why you're
I was
excited? We can finish it off as a positive.
much like Wander Stop. Like, I'm not sure if I'm excited or play it myself, right? Because like it's very much the same thing, right? Like it looks like your standard cozy fishing and crafting and all that good stuff, right? But it's freaking Lord of the Rings, right? Like how is that going to be integrated? That's
Hmm.
what I need to know. I don't know. Like I was just watching Lord of the Rings the other day, and like that's good stuff. It's like I was shocker. The Lord of the Rings movies are good, and the high fantasy and all that, right? Like, are they going to capitalize on what makes Lord of the Rings popular and successful? I don't know. That's what I'm wondering here.
They're for sure going to have cameos.
Yeah, I mean Gandalf has to wander into town, right? Like, absolutely.
Yeah, he's not going to be someone you can see every day, but he's going to turn up
Yeah,
for, I don't know, traveling, there's a traveling market and he's coming to visit or something. I don't know.
yeah. He's gonna be crazy red. Watch out for the Ford Greasy sauce. Oh.
Yeah, I think my thing about it is I like the concept of it, but and this is not saying it's bad, I'm just not a fan of the art style.
You know what? That's very fair. Um, I I think, I can echo that sentiment. I'm not a fan of the art style myself. Um, yeah, no, I don't blame you at all.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm also a little bit worried about how it will play. And I feel like it might just end up being just Stardew but Lord of the Rings, which is fine, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Is that what I'm looking for? Maybe.
I
I
don't know.
probably did say when this was announced that that was what I was looking for, but I don't
Yeah,
know. I'm gonna play
I
it.
it,
I'm not. Let's not lie. I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna talk about it. But the question
yeah,
is, am I gonna enjoy it? We'll see. I'm keeping an
yeah.
open mind, but that doesn't mean I'm
Okay,
super excited about it.
yeah. All right. So, what is the actual one on your last on your list?
Oh, that was Fields of Mystery.
Oh, oh,
So,
right. Yes, sorry, I forgot. Okay. Yes, you're right. Sorry. Yes, I forgot. Yes, you're just your um most anticipated 2025 is one of your top games of 2024.
imagine that,
Uh,
right?
shocker.
I want more of it. I mean, that's
Okay.
the thing, because like in the episode, that was my main problem was it's unfinished and I
Yeah.
want more of it. Please give me more.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish I hadn't played it early access because I just want to, whatever. But
Yeah. There.
there we are.
Um. There we are. You know, one more special shout out for me. I almost forgot. Like, I'm torn because I love the aesthetic and how it looks like Gaucho in the grassland. We got
I was
the
going to say, I'm
Western cowboy
surprised you've
thing.
not brought that up. Come on.
I was about to say, right?
You got to be
Like, I don't know.
stereotypical, Kevin.
I know it looks so good. It's cowboys. You lasso a bull. I really like that. It's got a cartoony, almost fabledom kind of look to it. I don't know what the how the gameplay is going to feel. That's the kicker, right? I love how it looks. I love the concept. I just don't know how the gameplay gonna be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but on paper, telling me you got a cowboy, it's the farming game. That's awesome. A ranching game. Oh, I love that concept so much. But like the actual gameplay, I don't know how it's gonna be. There's a herd. You get to move a herd of cows, Al. How can you not like that? Oh, good times.
Fair, fair.
Yeah. All right, there you go. So that's all I've got for 2025. There's until Southfield says they're 2025, then forget everything else. I just want Southfield.
Anyway, great.
Um,
Thank
all
you
right, there
for
you go.
joining me to talk about your most exciting games for 2025.
Yeah.
We'll see in a year whether which of those we've actually played.
Okay. Well, Hello Kitty's pretty calm. Yeah, I mean, I can count on Hello Kitty.
I think so. I think it's
Yeah,
pretty fair. It's pretty safe to assume that'll come out
that
at some point
that one's I'm safe on
next
that
year.
one and playing that
This year.
one. That's the most likely and confident one. I'll say that,
Yeah.
right? Like the others, Tales of Sekio, I am interested in. I don't know, when it actually drops. That's the question. But yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, Kevin, where can people find you on the internet?
All right, people, find me at Cooperbrez on Twitter or Blue Sky. I'm trying to use Blue Sky more, but Twitter draws me in. It has the dank memes. I can't get away from it. That's Brighter Square. If you want to see some of my art, I need to, that'll be a good New Year's resolution, revamp my art stuff because I don't have my Blue Sky account, yada yada. Or you can find me at Rainbow Road Radio, the Mario themed podcast I do with our mutual friend Alex. We finished the Bowser's Inside Story, so we're it's the holidays, so we're we're taking it a little slower right now. We've got something cooking, something lined up, but I don't
Ooh.
know when we're going to drop that. But right now we're just kind of going through the news and all that good stuff. But it's still a good listen, so tune in. Good stuff, good stuff. What about you, Al? Where do people find you on the internet?
People can find me in the usual places. You can find me at the Scottbot on mastodon.scot and most other social media. Just go search for me. You can find the podcast on Tumblr at THS Pod. Also on some other things. I think I've set up the Blue Sky now, so that's going, but I've not done anything else
Yeah.
yet. So you can find us there as well. You can send us feedback from our website, harvestseason.club, where you can also find links to everything to do with the podcast, including our Patreon, where you get access to our Slack and chat to people there. You get some kind of insights into how the podcast runs as well. And you also get access to the extra bonus episodes of the podcast. We just released our, obviously, we just had the Game of the Year episode of the podcast. We also had a Game of the Non-Farming Year on the Greenhouse episode. So that should be up now. And we're just about to record our Greenhouse episode for what we're most looking forward to outside of Cottagecore Games this
I've
year as well.
already got one. I just found one while recording this episode.
So yeah,
Uh,
look for them. Come join us. Come subscribe and get access to all that. I think that's everything else. Thank you, Kevin, again for joining me.
Thank you, Al, for having me on. My
Thank you, listeners, for listening. And until next time, have a
good
good
harvest.
harvest. The Harvest Season is created by Al McKinley with support from our patrons, including our pro farmers Kevin, Stuart, and Elisa. Our art is done by Micah the Brave, and our music is done by Nick Burgess. Feel free to visit our website, harvestseason.club, for show notes and links to things we discussed in this episode. It's always fun to look back on what we said for in the previous year. Should we have a quick look about what we said?
Yeah.
We're going to be our. I was me and Johnny last year,
Yeah.
and Johnny said Tales of the Shire, lol. Mika and the Witch's Mountain, fair. That
Oh,
worked.
yep, that was a good one.
Rusty's Retirement, fair. Tamagotchi Adventure Kingdom. I don't think that's out, is it?
I don't think so.
Oh, is it out on? It's out on iOS, but I don't think it's out on anything else. I don't know if it's meant to be coming on anything else. I'm not seeing announcements, but anyway, I don't know if he ended up playing that. And Horticular, which is out. I don't know if he's ended up playing it at all. Has he?
I
It
I
is
don't
out
think I've
now.
heard him play it. No. Yeah,
It
I'm pretty
came,
sure it's out. I don't think I've heard him say anything about it.
and then
Um,
mine were lol Snacko, Mika and the Witch's Mountain, and Go-Go Town. So
Snacko.
two of them came out.
Yeah, Snacko, most anticipated of the game of the year. 6 years running.
I mean, like
Yeah.
2023. Let's see my list. Snacko was on that list.
There
Mineko's
you
Night
go.
Market and Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life.
Neko's was there for a minute. Oh. Well,
Story
anyways,
of
I
Seasons: A
put down
Wonderful Life was on my list. I've never played it.
that. I don't know. Maybe because you knew other people liked it. I don't know.
Why was it on my list of most excited in games?
I don't know.
Bizarre.